What's up, stationaries? Sony reportedly ditches E3, but starts painting a broader picture about the future. The D.I.C.E Awards caused a dramatic upset for Sony, and, There's another PS5 update? Get ready, because Crossroads is live now.
I thought you said as in like another problem just occurred. I was like, oh, no.
I don't know, another PS5 update. That sounds like a problem. I mean, what? We had one like 2 weeks ago? Welcome to Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast for Boss Rush Games. I am LeRon Dawkins, and back this week is fellow Crossroads stationary and PlayStation doctor, Austin Campbell. What's up, man?
What's up? Got the PS5 ready for Returnal. That's all I'm saying. Ready for Returnal.
Yes. As of this recording, it is less than 3 days out.
Right.
All right. Pressing that share button with us tonight is a gent that really does not need an introduction, but I always get really tingly anytime I introduce the one, the only, luscious man himself, Brody Fultz.
Getting tingly. Oh, man. God, I feel special. I'm just going to stay here. Every time I go to my show, it's just, it's luscious. Special treatment over here. I like it.
Hey, you're like royalty, man. You were there at the start. You
were for one whole episode.
Hey, you know what? Hey, that's all. Like you're
I know.
Alumni status.
Oh, man.
And volunteering as tribute for our fourth chair tonight is one of Crossroads, the chat streams all-stars. So I'd like everyone to welcome to the show, Justin Gardner, better known as Zoomy 2009. What's up?
What's going on? I don't know if to take that if you're saying that I don't have any time, that I just hang out and lurk, or
You do more than lurk. You do more than lurk. You've been active for quite a few of the shows. You even shown up on some of the shows that I've actually subbed in for. So I mean, you're pretty much in there now.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm excited to be here. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for showing up. You're an honorary stationary now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So how's everybody's?
Now he won't have to. Now he doesn't have to give me crap about donuts and Mountain Dew in the chat.
Oh yes.
Right here.
No. You're welcome to go in on him at any time because we do. Even though Nellie's been quiet, Nellie's got the night off. She's got exams and school stuff that she's got to get through and stuff like that. So she'll be back soon. I promise. We haven't voted her off the island.
No.
How's your guys' week been so far? I know it's only Tuesday, but a lot can happen between Friday afternoon, and Monday night. So how's it going?
Good.
I'm doing pretty good over here. It was a wild weekend. I didn't get to play much games, but I probably drank more than I should have, to be perfectly honest.
See,
so there's that.
I wish I could have drank more than played video games, because I feel like this last weekend was a blur for me. Like, it's like, I know I did stuff, but I don't remember what it was. And I looked at a clock and it was like 10:30 on a Sunday night. And I'm like, what the hell? What happened to my weekend?
Yeah, it was wild. It went very quick.
Yeah.
Well, as far as work goes, I got a red ale right now. I'm ready for the weekend already. It's been one of those weeks.
Well, it's Tuesday, so
It's Tuesday.
Hang on.
Oh boy.
Stream chat's already lively. Can I ask you guys a question? I bought a PS5, but there are no games. Was I scammed? No, you were not scammed, because there's a ginormous backlog of PS4 games you can play. As a matter of fact, honestly, right now, here's the thing about it. Like, with all the stuff that's been going on in the economy, we have the semiconductor shortage, which is causing problems as far as manufacturing for not just the PlayStation, but just other electronic devices like the Xbox Series X and those consoles, as well as like major hardware and cars and stuff like that. Be thankful that right now there is not a whole smorgasbord of brand new games for PS5 to play. Like, you have right now a perfect time to go through your backlog and things like that. But games are coming, because we got Returnal at the end of the month, we got Resident Evil 8, and then we got Ratchet and Clank, and then Kena Bridge of Spirits also. Yeah. So yeah, we got games coming.
Yeah. Don't
we have
forget
games.
About Scarlet Nexus. It's not exclusive.
That too.
But I'm stoked.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So What?
Austin. What?
I say Wait, is Scarlet Nexus coming out out soon?
It's supposed to be in June. In like 25th, I think.
I hope it's actually June.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah. That's what I'm hoping.
That's a long time, but yeah, June 25th, I believe, is the release date.
No, I'm not judging. My wallet just is crying even.
Fair enough.
I am trying to be so conservative about my game purchases. I mean, I got Returnal, I got that. Resident Evil 8. I'm glad Nellie's not here tonight because Resident Evil 8 might be a back burner for me. It might be because like I got to get Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank is on birthday month. I got to get Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kenna Bridge of Spirits. I mean, I'm not gonna. First of all, was I the only one that was shocked about they announced that Kenna is going to be $40? I was shocked because you look at the game and the production quality behind that game, and it looks like it should be like a $60, $70 game. So, but
the only thing that concerns me there is how long is this going to end up being? Like, is this going to be?
Is it going to be a short game? Yeah.
Like, I mean, $40 for Miles Morales, absolutely, I'm all in. And if it's similar length, heck yeah, I mean, why not? But I am slightly concerned because, like you said, that production value on that, I mean, it looks like a Pixar movie. Like, it looks really good.
They may be trying what they did with Ratchet and Clank on PS4 is saying, hey, let's see how well this game will sell for $40. And even because I think it was only like 8 hours to beat Ratchet and Clank on that one.
As a matter of fact, you're right.
They're like, hey, let's see if we can sell a new IP the same way, even if it's like 8 hours long and $40.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, that's worth it to me. I love really well produced games if they're short, and if they're cheaper, that's awesome to me.
Honestly,
there's always
nice because there's just a wealth of games that are like over 100 hours, and it's exhausting to me anymore. I have very
Valhalla.
Valhalla. I'm like 25 hours in, and I'm already like, my gosh, I'm just burnt, man. It's I don't know. Yeah, these long games. I played all the way through Persona Royal, and that ended up taking me forever. And it was just one of those things. Like I don't know how many more of these games I have in me.
Well, RPGs are already a time sucker. I mean, they are. It's one of those things.
They're also my favorite, though. So yeah,
I'm still not in love with RPGs. Like I got to a point where like RPGs just didn't do it for me anymore. So I basically we're lucky if I play one RPG a year now. Let's put it that way. And I'm not counting I'm not counting Mass Effect that comes out next month either. I'm not counting that.
Oh yeah,
I mean, yeah, and I know there's people in the audience that's like, man, we've already played that game, but I mean, I love Mass Effect. Like, it's science fiction. It's right up my alley. It's my type of game. It might as well be Star Trek. It might as well be Star Trek the way the game plays out.
To be fair, Mass Effect 1, the way that this looks now, it looks like a whole other game. Like, I know it's gonna be the same story, hopefully. But this looks like a brand new game the way they've re-upped it, especially the first one.
All right, so
don't kill me here, but I never played the first one because I played the second one first, and then trying to go back to the first one was
that messed a lot of people up too because some people missed out on the first. It all depends. I know for sure I missed out on the first one because I didn't have an Xbox 360. Yeah. And then the second one came out, and it came out on PS3. I'm sorry, and it kind of messed up the momentum some. And I know for sure that like trying to go back and play the first one after touching the second one is just a bad deal.
That's my concern about this remaster. Everybody's looking at it with rose colored glasses, and now I feel like going back to the first one, even though it's going to look way better, the gameplay is going to, and hopefully they improve a little bit of gameplay and stuff here too, but it is still going to be very much of that era.
I think they did just because the driving mechanics drastically changed.
For the Mako? Hell yeah.
This one, I was like,
yeah.
Yeah. I had a buddy that was massive into it.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to shake up
the mining part. The mining part of Mass Effect. I loved it for no good reason.
Wait, you talking about Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 1? Because I like Mass Effect 2's. I like Mass Effect 2's freaking like that resource system where you just flip the solar systems, you launch probes and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that
one. That was
Oh,
on
I'm
one, and I loved it. That's like my favorite.
oh no, like the one in Mass Effect 2, like it just sung to the Star Trek nerd in me. Scanning planets, like
Yeah.
like doing all this crazy stuff, like drop ships and all that. Oh man, come on.
We talked about it on Boss Rush. I said, there's too much reading in games. Mass Effect's the one that didn't bother me though, because I would read every little detail about these planets,
All
like
that
they
low.
actually exist.
Oh yeah, for real. All right, we're gonna shake up the formula here for tonight's show. So let's do this housekeeping real fast. This is Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast of Boss Rush Games. Every week we come together to bring you the latest in news, rumors, games, and general discussion in the world of PlayStation. Crossroads is live on twitch.tv/Exodus803 Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are unable to join us during the live event, Crossroads can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other apps. And if you like the show, then please consider subscribing to our podcast show. You can also see the show on youtube.com/BossRushGames and our website, BossRushGames.com, every Thursday. While you're there, don't forget to check out our growing family of podcast shows, and remember to share, rate, and review us whenever you check out our show. Okay, so here's the first shakeup for the night. What have we been playing this week? So what you been playing? Actually, I'll even expand it. What have you been playing? What have you been watching? What have you been doing? Because some people are just getting caught up on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Some people are doing other things. Some people are reading books. So what you guys been up to? Justin, we'll let you go first.
So I have been playing Doom Eternal with the new DLC that dropped.
Nice.
That's another one. That was one of those games that was very humbling because I grew up in the 90s with original Doom of like ultra violence every time, and that game I had to drop it down to the very easy one to beat it the first time, and so I'm going back and playing like the extra life mode and now kind of starting to figure out like once you have the system and you get in the fun zone, as Hugo Martin always calls it on his when he's streaming his play. Like you're like, okay, now I got it. I can move around, but man, it was frustrating for a while. But I'm loving the new DLC.
Yeah, that game is humbling for sure. I played it. I actually did like a live, or not a live play, but I did like some video for Diggity, and oh my god, man, I've also never felt like a bigger idiot in my entire life, just trying to get like go through the levels and transport myself from finish to end. Like some of the things I'm walking around for way too long trying to find where to go next. It was bad. I might just be dumb too. There's that.
It's a little more cerebral with the transversal puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
Brody, go next.
It's okay. I'm the same way.
I didn't play a ton. I finally
you already admitted you went on like a bender.
Yeah, I had a birthday party over my buddy's birthday party, and it was like us, my wife, myself, and then him and his wife. But so a small party, but a party. And then we had some friends over, and we ended up playing like the game Battle of the Sexes. Did you ever play that? Like
I've seen it on the shelves. I've seen it. It's like a tabletop card game, right?
Yeah. It's fine. There's some things that aren't great about it, but it's fine. And so we played that, and then next thing you know, it was like 3:00 in the morning. So I didn't play anything there. So I had not gotten into Nier Replicant yet, a version I don't remember the number sequence. But I finally got to play a little bit of it last night, and just barely get my toes wet on it. And I also played a little bit. I played a little bit of Overwatch actually. My buddy Jeff, the other half of Diggity, got me back into Overwatch, and I'm not sure how I feel to be back into it, but I'm there regardless, and it's fine. I need to get back into Monster Hunter, but it was a busy week, and I haven't played it for like a week and a half now, and it hurts me inside.
Hey, well, if you want to play Monster Hunter after we end the show tonight, like I was playing on Monster Hunter.
Hey, you're gonna be way higher level and
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm playing just to play. Last night I was on Pal Block with the Pal Block crew, and Dan and I were supposed to jump on, but Dan had to take care of some stuff afterwards. So he just texted me. He's like, "Hey, I got some stuff going on over here. We'll play another night." Because it was funny because I am a higher level than him, but he said something. He said something to me like it was kind of like off brand during Battle Block, and I was like, "Oh, we're playing Monster Hunter, but you're carrying me tonight, sir. I am not helping you at all." Speaking of, that's the only thing I've been playing, Monster Hunter. I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise, and I've been procrastinating because the actual DLC. Well, apparently the DLC is supposed to go live tonight. Apparently, but all I know is like just with the history of how things are on like Nintendo systems, like they say it happens at midnight, but sometimes it doesn't happen until like 8, 9, 10 a.m. the next day, and it's like, come on, guys, you guys said like midnight, stuff like that,
Yeah, it will 100% be at 8 a.m. tomorrow. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
See, this is how you like choke a bitch, because I mean, like. Right now, like it's funny because like the Nintendo Switch has been catapulted in right now in my house to like my most played system. And it's because Monster Hunter's on there. Because I mean, my PS5 is pissed at me right now. Like I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and I was playing. There was one other game I was playing that was slipping my mind right now. But my PS5 had been going strong, and then Monster Hunter came out, and all of a sudden, like I only turned the thing on to do the firmware updates.
Fair enough.
Austin, what you been up to?
That's why I'm not too worried about you finishing Returnal anytime soon, because especially that Monster Hunter DLC comes out, I know you're not gonna be playing. Well, I'm getting ready for Returnal, so I almost started Resident Evil 2, because I beat Maquette. Which was the puzzle game that came on PS Plus a while ago.
How was it?
And it was
How
good.
was it?
It was good. Yeah, I liked it. It was it's not too hard of a puzzle. I've definitely played more difficult, but it was still challenging enough.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. And the music's probably my favorite part of it. And then so I played that, and then basically just playing Call of Duty until Returnal comes out. I thought about starting Resident Evil 2 remake because Nick told me that I should, and I still have it. But I was like, well, Returnal's probably gonna be out by the time I finish it, so I'm gonna wait. And then I'm actually playing Super Metroid on Switch right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wait, Super Metroid's on the Super Metroid's on the, I guess like the
online
SNES
okay.
NES one, yeah.
Actually, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Every time they make a virtual console, Super Metroid's always on there. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I saw it on there. I was like, huh, you know what? I haven't played Super Metroid in a long time. Why not?
I love Super Metroid. It's one of my favorites from the Metroid series, but I'm at the point now where like they need to update the game. Like they updated Metroid for Zero Mission and stuff like that. Like if anything, they at least need to upgrade Super Metroid to make it feel and play more like Zero Mission, because Zero Mission basically was Metroid updated to play like Super Metroid, except it was much faster. It was much faster. It was streamlined. Thank God it was streamlined. If you get lost playing Metroid Zero Mission, there's something wrong. Because there's no way you can get lost. Even in the brand new section of the game that did not exist when the original Metroid was out, there's no way you can get lost.
Yeah. But and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. All I've played.
Okay. All right. Well, check this out. Like I said, I'm shaking the formula up tonight. So I just realized though, Brody and Justin didn't get a chance to really formally introduce themselves to us. So, Justin, go first. Tell us and the audience about yourself real quickly.
So I'm from Kansas. Well, I'm living in Kansas. Where I'm in the military. And I do streaming. But I'm a newer dad to a 6-month-old daughter, so that has eaten up a lot of time that I used to have for streaming and gaming and just about general life anything, But So I've been really big. I actually really got back into gaming last year when we found out we were pregnant through the Dad Gaming group on Facebook, because I was following the Dad Facebook page, because I love a good dad joke. And so they're like, "Oh, hey, if you like the Dad and you like video games, there's this other like private group called the Dad Gaming, and oh, by the way, we're also doing tournaments and this kind of stuff and have this whole group." And so I really got into that aspect, and then kind of getting revved up to do like streaming. So I bought a bunch of stuff and planning to do like some charity events and things like the Extra Life program. They're very big into that, so I plan on being a part of that this year. So, but yeah, just very much a casual dad gamer and streamer when time does allow. But
clearly a huge Marvel fan, right?
Right, yeah, very much.
Yeah, never mind all the Batman stuff. He's a Marvel.
Very much Marvel. I feel both have their place, but clearly I have a favorite. So
yeah, I'd say so. Maybe even one specific character.
Right.
So Austin, how long do you think it'll be before Justin's joining the Angry Dad streaming group?
Oh yeah.
Our buddy Joe Wilson
Yeah.
and his friends.
I'm already got the angry part. I just need to be the dad part, and I'm ready to
go. Brody?
So I run another podcast. I'm from Diggity Podcast, a weekly video game podcast that we just kind of go over all the news and everything that happened throughout the week. I'd say I usually play video games just about every night. But I mean, it depends. Things get crazy. Drinks start flowing. You know, like I said, Saturday was not great. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of been doing my show for about 2 years now with a buddy of mine who's from the Great White North, and we just kind of have a good time and talk about news. Probably talk way more crap than we ever should because nobody's ever going to work with us going forward, and yeah, it's fine.
Hey, you guys are you guys out of the different groups that I listen to right now, you guys are kind of like the shock jocks right now, at least with video gaming.
Fair enough.
I mean, because I would say LAN Party are for real the shock jocks, but not for video games. They're shock jocks for life.
for life, yeah. No, that's pretty fair. But yeah, we kind of prided ourselves in being pretty unfiltered to some extent, and we say things that, like I said, nobody's gonna work with us going forward. It's fine.
Hey,
the end of the road, boys.
Hey, make your own affiliation, your own group. And then it doesn't matter.
No one cool is going to be working with you guys, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
all the cool people
Boss Rush all the time. So I mean, at the various different shows there. So I don't know what that says, but I mean, they have respect.
Hey, I will tell the bad bitches to send you an invite one of these days.
Oh yeah,
that would be a blast. That would be a good time right there.
Okay, so rolling right along, it's time for our favorite segment of the night, which, usually happens a lot earlier in the stream than it does. But like I said, I'm shaking the show up. Like, this is episode 34, by the way. Thank you guys for sticking around with us for almost 35 episodes. So thank you for that. But now it's time for the snack chip edition of What's on Your PlayStation. Okay, so you guys know the rules. We basically we're throwing it down. Snack chips. So we're talking about, it can be potato chips, it can be snack chips. Hell, it can even be like freaking the Ritz crackers, crisps and stuff like that. Basically the stuff that like if you like. Hey, I got a thing of goldfish right here. If you like freaking like reach into a bag and just like mindlessly munch on it, that's what we're talking about tonight. So it's got to be some type of chip or some type of snack cracker or things like that. The 3 questions are: your favorite potato chip or snack chip, how greedy are you when it comes to those chips? But like I said, I have a big ass bag of goldfish right here, and I'm not even gonna admit to you how empty the bag is, but and the 3rd question is, who sells the best branded chips? All right, so we're gonna rapid fire these all the way off. So Austin, you get started. Favorite potato or snack chip? And give us a little bit of context. Give us a little bit of context.
These are all of my favorite foods. Like, this is my lane. The chips, crackers lane is mine. Like, I eat way too many of these. I am not a sweets person, but I will die for a bag of chips. I will lay my life down for a bag of Doritos. Like it's just
there it is.
Mountain Dew, by the way. Acceptable.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's acceptable with Mountain Dew. It's acceptable at that point.
In fact, it's practically marketed together, so I think
Yeah.
not so much.
But my favorite is the Chester's hot fries. Those are my number one snack. Number one. I love those things. Me and my brother will eat. My youngest brother will eat as many as it takes to get us sick. I don't do that anymore, but I could if I really wanted to.
Okay, so I need to ask a follow-up question. What flavor Doritos?
Oh, Dorito, man, it don't really matter.
No, it doesn't matter. They're all good.
I like the spicy nacho specifically.
Uh-huh.
That's probably my favorite. I also eat like off-brand chips. I eat the chips from Aldi's as well, like their Dorito. So I'm not really picky. Like any chip is gonna be good for me.
Speaking of chips from Aldi, have you had their potato chip? The one that competes with like the Lay's like original?
Yeah, they're great.
I will fucking hurt myself for a bag of those. And the cool thing about it is like for the same price as you would buy for a bag of Lay's chips, like it's like 1.5 times bigger.
Yeah, and $1 cheaper.
And they're full size chips. They're like the size of, I don't have anything that can really like describe how big the chip is, but when you open the bag of chips, like the chip is like this big around, and it's like
they're like ruffle size. They're like
it's like I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Justin.
Shout out to Clancy's, man. Clancy's rules.
Yeah, Justin, your favorite chip or potato or snack chip?
So I think all time, that's gonna be the Cheetos, the jalapeno cheddar.
All right.
Like I have a lot of, like I'm like you, LeRon. I'm a big foodie. I love to eat and have different, depending on the mood and things like that. But like if it's like gaming night, like dad time after everyone's in bed, like that's probably gonna be my go-to is those jalapeno cheddar. Like it's just the right amount of spice.
Yeah, for real. Brody?
And I can put a bag of those down, especially when it's game time. I try to be good during the day, but if it's dad time, like those bags go down.
Do you at least wipe your hands? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you at least
if it's gaming time? Yeah, I have like
I don't
wipes.
eat in game. I can't do
especially the PlayStation 5. Like it's wipes. Like I have to make sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
a nice gaming chair. I'm like, there's no crumbs whatsoever. Like
fair enough.
You want to hear a trick? You crunch them up a little bit when you first open them, and you just drink them. You know, you just kind of pour them in your mouth like that.
That's why we keep Austin around, because stuff like that. You know, every now and then he throws us off with the donuts and Mountain Dew, but he has like some. Austin has some class when it comes to like throwing down snack food, though.
You can't tell in that water bottle there was very small crushed up shit.
Yeah. I find my ways to get it in.
There's a Mexican restaurant here that they're open like late night. It's one of those like really good like drunk food type things, but they do like their quesadillas and a couple of their others that they will put the hot Cheetos like directly in it. So you get the spice, and then like it softens the Cheetos just enough to give you a texture. Like we used to do that a lot on mission nights. 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Put hot Cheetos on your breakfast burritos. That's a go-to. It's a good one. It's a good day.
All right, Brody, you're up.
You wake up with that.
I'm a sucker for Doritos, specifically the taco Doritos and the sweet chili heat Doritos. Those are
yes,
so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have been known to sit down and completely go through a bag of taco Doritos. And I haven't seen them for a while, so I don't know if this like comes and goes, or if like they're gonna come back, because they better come back, or I'll fight somebody that works for Frito-Lay.
For real, yes.
But those are fantastic. But the sweet chili heat have kind of been my thing lately. I'm also a sucker for like any tortilla chip with like a good white queso.
Okay.
Oh.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I hate to say it, but like a tortilla chip with any type of like dusted flavored product, I'm probably going to eat it.
Apparently, I just really like tortilla chips of all shape and form.
Yeah, that too. That too. Me and one of my roommates, we literally will go out and buy 3 or 4 bags of the family size like Tostitos. We would do that because like we will just annihilate. Between the two of us, we'll annihilate at least 2 bags in the weekend. And we don't need, the crazy part is we don't even need salsa. We don't even need salsa. We'll just eat them dry.
Oh yeah.
But of course you know, making poor man's nachos, you know.
That's right.
Can't go wrong there, man.
Okay, so Justin, you've known me a long time. You know, like we've had adventures in the gym trying to like get into shape and everything. So I'm probably gonna get some judgment on this. I mean, I'd love me some Doritos, but you know what? You know what won't last? A regular sized bag of this will not last half an hour after I open it. Freaking Cheetos curls.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you gotta eat them when you open them, because once they get stale.
Oh, there's that, but I don't know. It's
They're
something
mostly
about
air. That's it.
Yeah, it's something about the Cheetos curls though. It's something about that type of like flavored like cheese on that is different from almost. It's even different from like the regular Cheetos like flavor. It's crazy, and it's like, and I have control issues with it. So like the only time I buy them is when I'm feeling really nice about myself. But at the end of but then by the time the bag is done, I feel really bad about myself too.
So you get all the special edition ones, like when they come out with the paws or like the bones for Halloween.
Yeah, like the bones, like the white cheddar ones, all of it. I also like the Cheetos mix-ups.
Oh,
I don't.
mix?
Yes, I can't find those that often anymore. But when I see a bag of those, I grab those. And what pisses me off about that is they're not the same size bag as like the Cheetos or the Cheetos curl. So it's like I'm spending the same amount of money, but I'm getting less. But I'm going to eat it and I'm going to enjoy it, so it doesn't matter.
Oh man.
All right, so I pretty much said how greedy I was when it comes to chips. Like as you can tell, and Austin already said the pro tip is like crunch it up and then just start pouring it in your mouth.
Yeah, I do the same thing with Pringles, man. Like I don't like, you gotta pop them, but then when you got the bottom with all those crumbs, that's like the best part. You just drink it.
Yeah.
Best part.
How are you going about crunching up Pringles? What tool do you have to get down in the
I was about to say
mortar and pestle.
I don't do it intentionally. You know, you gotta put them in your mouth like it's a duck bill, and you know you gotta have fun with the Pringles. But yes, I'm still 10. But what you get down the bottom with the ones that are start crunching up, that's like the best. That's like, I don't know. It's like the money shot of the Pringles. You know. It's just
here it goes. I knew it was going to take a turn. How did I know the food topic is going to make it take a turn? How did I know? I didn't hear from you, Justin, or you, Brody. Like, how greedy are you when it comes to chips? How greedy?
I will absolutely share, because that means that I am eating less of them. Because if I am left alone with a bag of chips, I will eat the entire bag and wonder where my bag of chips went. So I have to have people to share it with, so I feel better about myself when I'm done and covered in Cheetos dust.
The way you describe that reminds me of the dog that wakes itself up by wagging its own tail and it starts barking.
I'll wag my tail. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it feels like.
So if it's the jalapeno, the cheddar Cheetos that I'm buying, I'm usually good. I'm safe if I can get my own. But if it's the puffs and we go to Costco or whatever, we have to buy 2 bags because those are my wife's favorite, and they will also disappear quickly if there's only one bag. So we keep a fresh stock.
So basically, we're all fatties. That's really what it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
All right. So one answer and one answer only. Who sells the best brand of chips? And you know what? Just to keep it interesting, like if we just want to call out the name of the chip and not say like Frito-Lay or some crap, do that. Because for me, even though like I said, I will freaking put myself in the hospital for Cheetos curls. It's all about Doritos at that point for me. It's if the chip manufacturing world ended today and you can only have one chip for the rest of your life, is regular nacho cheese Doritos for me. I will die happy.
Yeah, I can absolutely live with that. I'll say Doritos as the general answer, and yeah, I mean the nacho cheese Doritos, I've never been disappointed after eating them, except for in myself, so it's fine.
Yeah, I would say Doritos as well because the number of flavors that has occurred, you have that variety. Like shopping at Costco, like there was a light green, it was like a jalapeno one, like that was brand new, and those were amazing. Like they've been made into taco shells at Taco Bell, like so clearly it has.
Oh yeah, the Locos. Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I had to stop ordering those all the time at Taco Bell. I had to because it was getting to the point. Okay, when they first introduced the Locos tacos at Taco Bell, I was doing like 2 or 3 trips a day. When they first rolled them out, I am way past that phase now. But when they first rolled them out, though, I wouldn't be surprised if like they saw me 2 times in a day at Taco Bell.
That's an amateur mistake. You buy the Taco 12 pack and then you're good. It's just one trip.
Oh wait! The Taco 12 pack because they were so new. When I was doing 2-a-days, they were so new they hadn't started offering them in the 12 pack yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they were so new.
Did you get the regular nacho ones? Or did you get the Cool Ranch or even the spicy ones they came out with there for?
I've gotten them all. And here's something crazy. Here's something crazy, right? Because I am not a fan of Cool Ranch Doritos. But that's because when they rolled out Cool Ranch, I'm old enough to remember when Cool Ranch Doritos were brand new. When they rolled them out, like I used to crush them. I ate them so much that I basically ran the taste out of my mouth for that flavor. So it was one of those things. It was one of those things like whenever, because like I live with roommates and stuff, and you know how sometimes somebody goes and does a Costco or Sam's Club run, and they'll get the variety bag of chips. They'll always get the ones that had like just the Cool Ranch Doritos, and I'm like, what are y'all doing and stuff like that. So, but when they rolled out the Cool Ranch flavor on the Doritos Locos Tacos, I was like, okay, I'll try it one time. That actually made me fall back in love with Cool Ranch Doritos at that point.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I was disappointed when they did away with that flavor shell.
That flavor, yeah.
Man, they need to bring it back.
So, Austin, you didn't give your final thought. Is Doritos the consensus?
I gotta say Cheetos though.
Okay.
Because the Flamin' Hot Cheetos, the jalapeno Cheetos, and the hot fries. Those are my 3 favorites. So like, I'm all down for those. They got my top 3, but Doritos, they're right there.
Basically, Frito-Lay is a clean sweep here, right?
Yeah. Pretty
Cheetos
much.
Frito-Lay too, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Doing something right over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know how to keep us fat. That's what it is.
That's right.
All right, well, that's it. The Snack Chip Edition for What's on Your PlayStation for tonight. Hey, hit us up on Twitter in our chat at @PS_Crossroads. Let us know what your favorite snack or potato chip is, as well as how greedy you can get with them, and which one's your favorite brand. We can finally start the news now.
What a night.
Yeah, I'm having fun. Like, this is a good panel. All right, so here's some PlayStation blurbs the Crossroads crew thought you might be interested in. First up, a new PS5 firmware update was released to improve performance. And the crazy thing is, like, we just had a firmware update that was supposed to change the performance of the system. Sony released a new firmware update for PS5. This updates the system's software to version 21.01-03, so on and so forth, and has a size of 860 megabytes. The changelog doesn't appear to mention that doesn't appear to mention that it carries any significant improvement aside from improving the performance of the system. And beyond that, we don't know what it could be improving. I don't know. Maybe the system turns on faster. I don't know. I have no idea. This update comes hot on the heels of the major update for PS5 that added support for external hard drive storage. Please note, we love to do this as a public service to our Crossroads listeners and stuff. Please note that while this allowed users to copy their games to the external hard disk, it does not let them play off of it. And when I say that, I mean PS5 games. PS4 games will play off the external hard drive just fine, but PS5 games will not. This is mainly used to expand the storage of the system, and if games have to be played, they will need to be installed back to the internal SSD. So keep that in mind. Second up, the Funimation app is overhauled on PS5 and PS4. Popular anime streaming service and Sony subsidiary, Funimation, has a new app on the PlayStation 5 and PS4. The app completely overhauls the user interface for fans and you are presented with new options as well. That's pretty much the meat and potatoes of that, but as a reminder, there's still time to take advantage of the free 3-month trial of Funimation. It's courtesy of the Play at Home program going on right now by Sony. All you have to do is just download the app from the respective stores on PS4, PS5 consoles, and then just follow the instructions there, and you'll be well on your way to 3 months of ad-free streaming of the Funimation service. All right, and speaking of services on the PlayStation, right now, you can get 3 years of PlayStation Plus for over 50% off. Yeah, like we like to keep you in the know with these deals and stuff. As of April 25th, you can get a 3-year subscription to PlayStation Plus for the nice low price of $85.99, which is a 52% savings when you use the code PlayStation 2021. This is brought to you care of Mashable.com. I'm putting 2 links up in the chat right now for you to check out. And I'm also going to share that code with you in the stream chat right now. Remember, that is PlayStation 2021, PlayStation 2021. If you are a PlayStation gamer and still don't have a subscription to PlayStation Plus, this is your sign to get onto it. It's a limited time offering. We don't know when it ends, so hurry. Get those links that I provided in the chat tonight. And beyond that, to get the scoop on all the blurbs that I just went over, links have been provided in our Twitch stream chat. Go check them out and then continue the conversation with us on our Twitter page at @PS_Crossroads. All right, it's time for the news. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Cool. All right. First off, PlayStation Now. This is news. I'm sorry, guys. This is news. PlayStation Now will start streaming for 1080p games in select regions. I was actually shocked when I saw this because I'll be honest with you, I thought they were already streaming in 1080p. I thought they were.
Same.
I thought they were.
We were still doing 720.
Right?
I've never tried PlayStation Now, to be perfectly honest, so I never even realized it. But
you know the sad
kind of blew me away.
the sad part?
It's definitely 720. It definitely was 720.
The sad part is I remember doing the 7-day trial of PlayStation Now, but this is back before I had like a really nice television, so I wouldn't even realize if it was 720 back then. This news comes to you from Rebecca Smith at PlayStationLifestyle.net. Sony has announced that they will be introducing support for streaming 1080p capable games through PlayStation Now. The feature will begin rolling out across select countries over the next few weeks. Streaming had previously been capped at 720p, but the upcoming update will allow players to stream at 1080p instead. And right now, it's looking like players in Europe, the United States, Canada, and Japan will all be projected to make use of the higher definition games as the feature is rolled out. To be noted, unlike Xbox Game Pass, none of the games are available on the first day of release, as Sony doesn't consider this subscription model to be sustainable. Despite this, rumors continue to circulate that Sony is working on a counterpunch to Game Pass. Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan has confirmed they're currently working on their cloud strategy that is unique and only on PlayStation. I like that, only on PlayStation. That's a nice little jab because Game Pass is available damn near everywhere else. All right. This will include exchanging but this philosophy though includes exchanging ideals with rival Microsoft, with whom they're in a strategic partnership to utilize some of their cloud assets. Obviously, like even though they want to compete against Microsoft, like they still have to pony up and like use some of the assets and stuff like that. So it's all one big friendly ecosystem when it comes to video games anyway. So why don't we all just play nice anyway? We'll only be getting an announcement on this cloud strategy and any potential improvements to PlayStation Now when the time is right. So for you guys on the panel tonight, question: what do we think took Sony so long to implement full high definition gaming on that platform? Was it bandwidth? What took them so long? PlayStation Now has been out for. PlayStation Now rolled out on what, the PS3? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. What took them so damn long? Like, you had the whole life of the PS4?
I think so. In my opinion, I assume it took them a while because PlayStation hasn't been known for necessarily having the best infrastructure around some of these things.
Mhm.
And I think when this initially launched, they didn't future-proof it in any way, shape, or form to easily upgrade anything.
That's a good point.
So I think that's part of it, and I think the other part of it is they didn't want to swallow their pride and hit up Microsoft for some of that tech, because Microsoft is between Microsoft and Microsoft, Google, and Amazon are like the major cloud people here, so they're gonna have to partner with one of them. And I mean, it makes sense because Microsoft has it set up currently for gaming in a way that is working quite well. And so, yeah, to finally bite that bullet and kind of make that partnership happen, or whatever it happened. I mean, because they aren't gonna say, hey, we had to crawl to Microsoft or anything like that, and nor should they. I mean, why would you? But I think it's a little bit of both. I think they had to get some help for this streaming to actually bring it up to at least, high definition, like you were saying. And and I think it was just more a lack of future proof in my mind.
You bring up a good point, because you have a good point about Sony probably having to like swallow their pride and start realizing they need to work with Microsoft. Because remember, Sony and Microsoft got into like a real slap fight like 4 years ago about crossplay.
Yeah.
And it slowed a lot of things. It slowed a lot of things down. As far as that, crossplay is now becoming more and more viable. We're seeing it happen across, but I feel like developers and some publishers are actually the ones that are responsible for implementing it. Like, we got Knockout City coming out. It's supposed to be playable across every freaking platform available.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else want to take a tackle at this? Like, what took them so long?
I think it shows their prioritization, like where their priorities laid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talked about releasing on the PS3. You think of the hardware available at the time, the technology. I mean, and the games that were available. It was just kind of like good enough. Like, here's like, it's not really going to be a noticeable difference. But now that we're in the like 4K and now even getting into the 8K, however long that's going to take to become mainstream, in a couple of years, when it's not $5,000 for a 35-inch TV or whatever.
Yeah. I do remember in a recent podcast that Ken Kutaragi, who's the father of the PS3, he was saying that, like at the time, like network infrastructure wasn't there. So like they had plans for a bigger implementation of stuff for internet, but it just wasn't there in certain places. Like the US was starting to catch up, but they weren't quite there. Japan had a good infrastructure, but Japan is like a really small country, compared to some of these other like major world nations and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a possibility of that. It's basically residual effect from like older technology is finally starting to like really like bite them in the ass or something. Austin, do you want to tackle this?
Yeah, I think it's that, plus like there was no demand for it. There's no demand to start making 1080p games because no one was using it. And now that Xbox Games Pass is blowing up the way it is, they've got to make a demand for PS Now. They've got to make people want to play on there, and so this is the first step. You're definitely not gonna get PS Now if you can only play the new Borderlands, the new Marvel Avengers, and
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, now that they're getting games for it, they want to compete now with Game Pass. They've got to make this decision now. Whereas before, I don't think it really mattered. It was like no one's playing on it anyways. And if they are, they're playing Vita games and
right? Yeah,
they're playing Resistance 2 on there. So,
follow up question for you guys. Is PlayStation Now possibly Sony's future answer to Game Pass? I'm not saying PlayStation Now as it is right now. I'm saying, do we see a possibility of PlayStation Now being rebranded and all of a sudden it's like what PlayStation Plus should be?
I think it's gonna have to be. Up until this point, PlayStation Now, like, yeah, it's existed, and yeah, it was. I mean, before
It's kind of a joke.
Game Pass, but yeah, in a way, it's a little bit of a joke compared to something that is as dominant as Game Pass has been. And so I think in order to rejuvenate, this idea, I think they're going to have to at least rebrand it and market it better, because up until now, they really haven't marketed it all that well. I mean, most people know it's there. I mean, if you're somewhat involved in gaming, I guess it's there, but I mean, to the average person, they probably have no clue what it even is.
Yeah, if you're a
doesn't
PlayStation,
imply anything. It's kind of weird. Yeah.
if you're a PlayStation gamer, you know what PlayStation Now is, but everybody else, they don't know what that is.
Right.
Yeah, and we're already. We're seeing them taking measures to try to either bring in new things, like they're testing in Poland the PlayStation Now Video Pass.
Yeah,
that could be a thing. So they're already reaching out and trying different things because they know they have to bring something else to the table. So I think a full branding with the name change too, to kind of shake off the past connotation associated with PlayStation Now in order to be competitive with Game Pass going forward.
I'll say this, like, thank you, Microsoft, because Microsoft makes sure to innovate, and when they do, it changes the face of everything and makes other people like sit back and pay attention. I mean, so Microsoft, keep doing what you're doing. Like, don't leave us PlayStation gamers in the dust, but keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, they're making PlayStation compete. That's good.
Exactly. And I always say disruption and competition are like the best thing for us as consumers. It is. Until things get like astronomically high.
Pass.
The PS what?
Call it the PS Pass.
Oh, I thought you said something else. I thought you said something. We're gonna move right to our next news topic.
I have to polish that name a little bit.
All right, so Sony net some notable wins, but also some considerable upsets at the 2021 D.I.C.E Awards this year. All right, this news comes to us from Joe Scrubbles at IGN.com. The D.I.C.E Awards have happened, and Sony still maintains its overall signature of acclaim in the gaming industry. Sony managed to take home the following wins for the night. I'm going to try to shoot through these real fast. Adventure Game of the Year, Ghost of Tsushima. It wins, beating out The Last of Us Part 2. Outstanding Achievement in Animation, The Last of Us 2 wins, beating out Final Fantasy VII Remake. Outstanding Achievement in Art Direction, Ghost of Tsushima, beating out Hades. Outstanding Achievement in Character. In character. Miles Morales from Spider-Man Miles Morales. Miles Morales beat out 2 entries from The Last of Us 2. Man. Outstanding Achievement in Original Music Composition is Ghost of Tsushima, beating out Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Outstanding Achievement in Audio Design also went to Ghost of Tsushima, beating out also Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Outstanding Achievement in Story was The Last of Us 2, beating out over Hades. And Outstanding Technical Achievement goes to Dreams, beating Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Now, you know what's crazy about that? I thought Mario Kart Home Circuit was going to sweep in like innovation and all those type of categories. So it's crazy. It's crazy that a game like Dreams, which, like, I know about Dreams, and I know few other people know about Dreams, but a lot of people don't know about Dreams. And basically it's like the modern version of RPG Maker. It is. Mm-hmm. And and even the way I'm describing that kind of pigeonholes it in a certain thing, because basically you can make and design your own game, and it's Yeah, but notice that Ghost of Tsushima took home 4 awards, beating out other PlayStation franchises in the process. That is ridiculous, but it also shows the power. Ghost of Tsushima is a freaking powerhouse. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side of this whole thing, fan favorite game Hades from Supergiant was the big winner, causing some tremendous upsets in particular categories. After winning in 5 categories at the 24th edition, 24th annual D.I.C.E Awards, Hades continues its sweep of gaming award ceremonies. The game has taken home Game of the Year awards from IGN, BAFTA, South by Southwest, the Gaming Awards, and is up for the same category at the Game Developers Choice Awards. Since I mentioned Hades, I might as well tell you what Hades got. Hades got Game of the Year, beating out The Last of Us Part 2. Outstanding achievement in game direction, beating out Ghost of Tsushima. Outstanding achievement in game design, also beating out Ghost of Tsushima. Action Game of the Year, beating out Spider-Man Miles Morales. And outstanding achievement for an independent game, beating, this is an upset, Kentucky Route Zero TV edition. Hades can't lose.
Man.
Hades can't lose.
I should finally play that game.
Get it for the Switch. Get it for the Switch. Get it for the Switch. Yeah.
Yeah. Hades was game of the year for me. I loved Hades. It's so good. Especially if you like the roguelike type games.
See, that's where you get me. Because I'm not big on that genre, but I've also heard a lot of people I'm not either, but this game's incredible. So
yeah, I'd say if you did you like Bastion or like anything? Did you like any of the other Supergiant games?
Yeah, Bastion's okay. Good. I don't. What was the other one? Something Cell. They had another big
there's
one.
a Hyperlight Drift. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hyperlight Drift. Yeah.
They had another one that was pretty big too, and I can't think of it at the moment, but I'm gonna Google it. Anyway, go ahead.
What this game does is what I hope Returnal will do, which is make you care about playing the game over and over again.
Yeah.
And with the story, because every time you start, you're getting new bits of story and stuff. So it never feels like the same game every time you start over.
Yeah.
And
that's honestly what I liked about Hades. Like Hades, even when you lost and started over, like you were still getting new stuff. Like you were getting new bits of the story. You're getting new upgrades and stuff like that. It was always a different experience, even though, and of course the map redrew itself and all that stuff, but still. By the way, speaking of Hades, Hades currently cannot be played on PlayStation platforms. They racked up all those awards.
Not yet.
Well, we haven't heard an announcement of it. If it's when is Hades on?
Rumored.
Is Hades on Game Pass? I don't think Hades is even playable on Xbox right now. Yeah, so Hades is only on PC and Nintendo.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. And I thought about getting it on. On Switch, but I was just worried because I mainly play on the Switch Lite. So I was like, that small screen and not being able to put it up on the TV. I mean, I still have my main Switch as well, but I was kind of leaning more towards putting it on or getting it off Steam. But Switch probably would be the better place for it, I would think. So maybe I'll have to do that.
I wouldn't be too worried about playing on Switch Lite because if Hades was on Vita, I would never play it anywhere else. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Switch Lite.
You've convinced me. I will buy Hades immediately after this.
Trust me. As a matter of fact,
I think it's on sale. for like $10.
It
right?
Even better.
Even better. Where's my
trust me. I would say Hades and another game called Foregone are like some great experiences on the Switch.
Nice.
All right. Well, congratulations to Hades. Like, hopefully, PlayStation gamers will eventually get to play it and stuff like that. But if not, like I said, like it's playable on PC and as well as on Nintendo Switch. So, you've got options.
I am so surprised at how little The Last of Us 2 won here. Like personally, I'm not a Last of Us fan, but it seems like everyone else in the world is. And I am very shocked that
I think what it is now, The Last of Us 2 fatigue is finally set in. I think it's finally set in.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think it is. You know, and you know, games games that are just as good. Or are just as good. I'm not gonna say better, but just as good. You're finally starting to get the recognition and everything now because we're finally getting to a point where The Last of Us 2 is getting out of everybody's mouths. You know, of course, you know there could be a Last of Us 3 coming, and you know it might happen as soon as the Last of Us series comes out on what was that, HBO, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it HBO? I thought it was Netflix. I thought Sony just signed a deal with Netflix.
No, Netflix is getting the two Resident Evil projects.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think I believe that Last of Us is HBO Max or HBO Go.
HBO Max. But
HBO
I
Max.
think there's a Twisted Metal show being worked on for
Netflix.
Netflix.
Oh god. Okay.
Yes. and I think Will Arnett is playing Sweet Tooth.
Oh man. Okay. See now I'm invested.
Yeah, that The Last of Us, I think that was all figured out prior to Sony announcing their deal with Netflix.
Mm.
So I think they already had the deal with HBO, and so it's staying on HBO.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts on this?
I think it shows that it's not all about the sequels and remakes. Like, new IPs are showing that they can be a force. So developers should take note and not be so fixated on.
Honestly, though, Supergiant Games, like I've enjoyed almost every game they put out. Like I loved Hades, of course. But Transistor, that's another great game. I was
trying to think of earlier.
Yeah. Batchin is great. The game in between Transistor and Hades, I didn't really like that one that much. I can't remember the name of it though.
Pyre.
Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of that one.
Oh yeah, Pyre was a weird game. Pyre was like, all right, this is a change of pace here.
Yeah,
but
I'm so excited to see Ghost of Tsushima get some more love on here. I want to see that so bad.
Oh
that game was amazing.
Yeah, I asked the question though. Like I asked the question a few weeks back though. Like, and I don't want this to sound negative or bad. Does Ghost of Tsushima need a sequel? Does it really need one?
Not necessarily. Actually, you bring up a good point, because as much as I love that, if they did that, I mean, the problem is I don't want it to fall into Assassin's Creed territory. Not Assassin's Creed, but I think they did a lot of the Assassin's Creed formula, but did it right in a very interesting setting with a great story. Now, if they can do that with something else, I'd be for it, but I just don't want it to fall into that category of getting thrown in with Assassin's Creed and I mean, we were talking a little while ago. I played Valhalla too, so there's nothing. I'm not coming after Assassin's Creed, but Ghost of Tsushima felt very fresh and very well done, and I would love to see something at least maybe in the same vein or a spin-off or something where they get to strut their feathers on this stuff again.
I think it'd be cool if they started doing, like, they took an Assassin's Creed approach almost to like doing different settings, but don't make them related. Like, don't make like they made a Viking game, but it's not related to Ghost of Tsushima, but it's a Viking game where they really took the time to like invest in the history and everything, and get the people who know what they're talking about, and make that kind of a game. That'd be kind of cool. Because I don't know what they'll do next if they don't do Ghost of Tsushima 2. Like, do they want to go back to Infamous? Like, is that what they want to do? Or I feel like they can kind of get away with doing whatever they want at this point.
Yeah, and they put a very nice bow on the end of that game too. So it's not like they need to add a sequel just for the sake of having a sequel. I mean, they really gave themselves the opportunity that if they wanted to pursue it, they could, or they can very much move on to something else, and nobody would be upset that they didn't get an ending or anything like that. There's no cliffhanger,
Yeah. But then again, I'm also the guy that was like, Last of Us didn't need a sequel.
I think a lot of people were in that boat, really. I mean,
oh yeah,
and it kind of came out of nowhere, but
yeah.
it seemed to work pretty well for him. So
Well, I have a theory about that, but we're not going to talk about that tonight. As far as like why The Last of Us got a sequel, I have a theory on it though, but I feel like it might be a very valid secret, not just being trolly or anything like that. All right, so our next news topic: Sony reaffirms the commitment to making diverse and unique games and experimenting with fresh ideas. I wonder why this all came about. This news comes to us from Zarmina Khan at PlayStationLifestyle.net and also from Matt Perslow at IGN.com. All right, so following reports that Sony Interactive Entertainment is shifting its focus to heavy hitters and blockbuster AAA titles, PlayStation Studios boss Herman Hulst has reiterated that the company will continue to make diverse and unique games and experiment with fresh ideas. Sounds like it's almost verbatim, like what they were going to say anyway, doesn't it?
just put a nod at the beginning of it, and yeah, it's almost exact.
Speaking of games industry, Holst said that distinct games are the heart and soul of PlayStation Studios, which is true, and Sony is committed to making quality experiences, also true. Quoted, I think that the games that we make are distinctive and as diverse as they can be. From Sackboy to Astrobot to Dreams to these kind of games that you're referring to, like The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. And you can bet that we will carry on making these games because they are the heart and soul of what we do here at PlayStation Studios. But at the same time, we are just as committed to making these quality experiences as we are to experimentation and coming up with fresh ideas. Hulst made his remarks while speaking to about Sony's new partnership with Firewalk Studios. Sony Interactive Entertainment will publish Firewalk's AAA multiplayer video game. Now we hadn't reported on this, but Firewalk Studios, like they've got an array of different talent coming from different groups. As a matter of fact, I think some people from Gears of War are on this team, and a few others. They're notable. I don't have the information pulled up in front of me right now, and the memory's not always the best sometimes. Sorry. The lovely folks that we are talking about today at Firewalk Studios, they are storytellers just like the people at PlayStation Studios are, Hulst continued. They are storytellers in a very innovative way, matched with their deep experience as a collective in AAA multiplayer games. I think that is going to lead to some very interesting and very nice surprises for our fans. Firewalk's project has yet to be revealed at this moment. We don't even know what it could be. But all of this follows a statement that PlayStation boss Jim Ryan made while speaking to Japanese financial site Nikkei, saying that the PS5 will have more exclusive games than any prior generation of PlayStation console. Now, please pay attention to this, because this is not the first time Jim Ryan has said this. He said this before the PS5 even came out, so he is sticking to his guns on this one. Ryan further explained that Sony has been investing in first-party game developers with a goal to make sure the PlayStation has more exclusives than ever before. We've been quietly but steadily investing in quality games for PlayStation, and we will continue to make sure that the PS5 generation will have more dedicated software than ever before, he said. In addition to that, Ryan also suggested that Sony may seek to acquire more studios in the future, much as it did with Spider-Man developer Insomniac in 2019. We have repeatedly engaged in mergers and acquisitions, including Insomniac games in the U.S., he said. We will not rule out that option in the future. So Sony is still Sony still has the hunger to snap up some studios, and that's a win for us PlayStation gamers. All right, final bit here. The PlayStation 5 launched with the platform-exclusive Demon's Souls remake, as well as PlayStation Family exclusive Sackboy: Big Adventure and Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's been a few months since an exclusive game dropped for the system, but that's soon to change with the arrival of Returnal on April 30th and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart in June. And by the way, remember, the Crossroads crew is giving away a copy of Returnal on opening day to one of our lucky fans out there. Just remember that. Question for the panel. Will Sony continue to keep its strongest in the world title on the power of its exclusives, or does innovation need to play a bigger factor in nowadays?
I think the claim that all the games are the same is kind of bogus. I mean, they're just because they're third-person games doesn't mean they're all the same. They're all drastically different experiences. And I mean, even if you look over at Xbox side, I mean, a handful of those games are third-person games too, and nobody's saying the same thing. I think the fact that most of these games are coming with they're very AAA, like they were saying, they are these big experiences is where people get hung up, and they're like, oh well, if you look closely enough, they're all third-person games and this and that. I mean, God of War and Uncharted are drastically different games, and then you go to The Last of Us and I mean, even Astrobot's Playroom is a very different experience. Just because it's third person doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
And so I don't really think they need to innovate anything, especially when they're coming off of selling the PS4 like it was hotcakes, and then turning around and now the PS5 is selling exceptionally well. And I think it was just like one of those clickbaity titles, and it was enough to stir.
I'm glad
PlayStation,
I'm glad somebody else said it, because I say it all the time and people are like, "Oh, shut up, fanboy."
Yeah, I mean, last generation I played predominantly on an Xbox. Like that's where I'm at. I switched to PlayStation this generation. I had a PS4, but it was later in the generation. I got it because of Spider-Man and God of War. But to me, it's just one of those things to get hits. I mean, it 100% sounds like a clickbait title, like, oh, and 4 out of 5 doctors hate this. Like, no, that's not what's going on here. This is stupid. Like, they're putting out Ratchet and Clank. They're putting out Returnal. They're putting out, like, there's games that are in the works right now that we don't even know about. And I mean, it's to say that they're doing the same thing and that, it's the same game, just a different skin is completely bogus. They're doing awesome things. I mean, Returnal in itself is such a unique experience. I mean, we haven't gotten to play it yet, but
it's such a different takeaway. Yeah, it's such a different takeaway from the stuff that we see on PlayStation. It's as a matter of fact, you know what? Out of all the games that, because last year when Sony had its thing and Microsoft had its thing, the two games I recognized, well, the two games that jumped out at me immediately were Returnal and The Medium.
Mm-hmm.
And those are vastly unique games and stuff like that. And guess what? They're both single player experiences. Yeah. As a matter of fact, why does everything have to be the same? Why does everything have to be like multiplayer, like battle royale type? Why does everything have to be the same? Like, why are we saying that games like The Last of Us, God of War, hell, Returnal coming up real soon, are we saying those are the same because they're just third-person experiences, or is that what they are? Because they're uniquely different games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, I understand why Sony doesn't want to get into the whole multiplayer realm, because there's a few dominant multiplayer games, and all these new experiences that are trying to pop up, they usually aren't doing very well. Sony knows what works well for them. These single player experiences that people absolutely love the stories in, they win awards year after year after year. Why would you change that? If that's what people want,
yeah,
why would you go against that? I mean, they tried to put out, Destruction All-Stars, and I mean, aside from that being what it was, it didn't captivate anybody, and nobody's still playing it. So to stick with these experiences that people years down the road are going to be able to be like, yeah, I remember playing that game. The story was incredible. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Like God of War is for me. Like, why would you go away from that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me for everything sounds the same when every gaming company does the exact same thing. Like, there's very few times where the gaming industry actually has a brand new innovation, nothing you've ever thought of. Like,
Dreams is a brand new innovation.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that except for the handful of people that play it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, and then we're getting that Seinfeld horror game made on Dreams. Yeah. Have you not heard about this?
No, I have not. No, I have not.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'll. Yeah. Like, I don't understand the saying that PlayStation's not innovating or doing new stuff when everything is different. Everything's differently unique. Like that's why we have such a divisive crowd on Ghost of Tsushima or The Last of Us 2. They're totally different games, even though they're third person.
I mean, hell, even Outriders was an outright copy and paste of like 7 different games. This is a unique experience.
Well, and like it's like saying all battle royales are the same. No, because
you
wouldn't catch me dead playing Fortnite, but I'll play Apex and I'll play Call of Duty Warzone. Like and some people are the exact opposite.
I'll play Fortnite and freaking Apex where I played PUBG.
See,
I'll play anything before I play PUBG.
Which is amazing because that was the catalyst of sorts for
that is true.
All
that
the
is
games
true.
To follow, and it has just fallen away.
Well, here's
because other people are now like saying, okay, these are the things that were wrong with it, so we're gonna make it better, and by default make our product more playable and replayable.
It was a great proof of concept, and that's about where the line's drawn.
Oh, you want to kill your game idea real fast? Keep it in the alpha phase for like 7 years. Like you will kill it. That's like Ark. Come on, guys.
Especially when it's already a game that's based off of a mod that was in an entirely different game. So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, like they're trying so hard to sell Ark now. They have Vin Diesel in it.
Oh, good God. That makes me not want to buy it even more, to be perfectly honest. And like I said, nobody's going to work with us going forward, so sorry.
And by the way, why'd they give Vin Diesel his pitch black body? That is not what that dude looks like now. Let me stop before I start being mean. Let me stop.
I think when that trailer came out, I said that Vin Diesel looks more realistic in the video game than he does in real life. Like, oh, he looks like a plain muscle dude instead of whatever he is now, this Hulk monster.
that thinks he can fight the Rock in real life.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Good luck, buddy.
I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
That game is called Sinfeld.
Sinfeld?
Yeah, it's the Seinfeld horror game, and I dropped the trailer in the Skype chat. I could drop it in the Twitch chat as well. But,
drop it in the Twitch chat. Like if we have to see it, they have to see it too.
It was made in dreams, and the trailer is interesting. And if you know your Seinfeld references, you'll get a lot of.
Oh, then this is gonna go. This is gonna go completely over my head. Then.
Yeah, I'm out.
All right. So it's time for the big topic tonight. So we're in the home stretch now, guys. All right. So our big topic tonight, and lucky for you guys, I didn't write some big old dialogue this time. So you don't have to sit down and like listen to me like have like a foamy mouth rant. Not tonight, at least.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, maybe next week. All right. So let's get into it. State of Play, April 2021 has been announced, but is Sony miscalculating the need to be present at E3 2021? All right, Sony has announced a brand new State of Play showcase for April 2021, and we have all the details that you need to know about the show, including the date, the start time, and where to watch the show and what to expect for it. Sony's State of Play for April 2021 will take place on August the 29th. That is the day before Returnal comes out. You notice a theme I have here? Like almost every segment has talked about the release date for Returnal. This is the Crossroads crew telling you get that game. August 29th is the date for our April State of Play. You can catch it at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 11 p.m. British Standard Time, BST. I'm sorry, I'm ex-military and I forgot what BST actually meant. If you can't catch the show live, you will also be able to watch it after it is aired. The upcoming State of Play showcase will be available to watch on PlayStation's Twitch as well as the YouTube channels. Okay, so we already know what to expect. Mostly focusing on Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, likely delving into the gameplay systems and mechanics of the game's dimensional jumping experience. But there's also bigger speculation that they'll drop some juicy tidbits about the future, considering that Sony is not currently scheduled to make an appearance at this summer's E3 2021. Now, I am definitely going to be tuning into this because of Ratchet and Clank. I am, and I like that the female Lombax. Her name is Rivet, and she's voiced by Femshep, Jennifer Hale. I love it.
Oh, I didn't see
That's
that
awesome.
news.
I love it. Yes, I love it. Yeah, yeah. Everyone knows I'm already amped for Ratchet and Clank, but anyway, let's get back to the topic before we talk some more. A lot of us are aware that Sony is making bigger headlines right now for not planning on attending E3 than they were making headlines for new exclusive and blockbuster sequels. It's true right now. Like, Sony is in everybody's mouth right now because they are not coming back to E3. But here's the thing, though. In 2019, Sony made the announcement that they will not be holding a press release and event at E3 that year, stating that the show doesn't just make sense for PlayStation right now, and that they were better suited to break out from the pack and hold its own events. Sony was set to repeat this maneuver in 2020, but the pandemic would see E3's normal stadium event get canceled because of health concerns and local government ordinances. Now, with a new, albeit all-digital E3 event announced for 2021, Sony shocked the gaming world once more by sticking to its guns and deciding to opt out from making an appearance. David Lasby from our sister show, Nintendo Pal Block, mentioned Sony's as well as EA's disappearance from the roster of companies and developers slated for the show, and asked the question if gamers were concerned about the absences. I'm going to pause right there and ask you guys real quickly. Are you guys concerned about the lack of Sony's presence at E3 this year?
No.
Not a bit.
I'm not even surprised they're not going to be there. I'm actually more surprised that people are surprised that they aren't going to be there. I figured this was kind of a given at this point, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't get the reason or get the hype why it's such a big deal when they didn't do it the year before COVID, and the year before that they only did like 4 games, and it was pretty much a laughing stock where they had like the weird church scene.
Oh yeah, for The Last of Us 2, yeah.
It's just maybe let's just not. And they've done a state of play around E3 now for so long, and it's just like why is this even a big thing?
I guess it's weird. That Sony not being at E3, is I guess it's weird for gamers given that Microsoft and Nintendo were also ditching E3 for a while, and now because E3 is back, for the first year after like a 1-year hiatus because of things, Microsoft and Nintendo are back in. So they're like, oh, where's Sony? Like, no, Sony told you they weren't coming back to E3.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm almost surprised that E3 happened this year. I mean, we've been kind of. It seems like the bell's been ringing for E3 for a while now, but it still continues to go on, which I'm happy to see, obviously. But I mean, the biggest thing about E3 is getting all of these people in the same area to conduct business. The business side of E3 is way more significant than what they show us. I mean, there's so many things meetings and deals and things that go on behind closed doors that are far, far more important than showing us a trailer of a game that might release in 4 years. So, I'm not surprised to see Sony hanging out and doing their own thing. They have enough studios under their wing that they don't need to be at E3. They've got their own deal going on, and whatever they put out goes viral anyway. So why pay to be at E3 and spend all this money on something you don't have to do?
Yep.
What I pointed out earlier is they're still making even bigger headlines. This shocking news that they're not going to be there. Any publicity is still good publicity for them.
Right.
So it's just going to drive more interest for when they do their events anyways.
Yeah, exactly. The PS5 is still so brand new that it reeks of that new car smell right now. And projects like PlayStation VR 2 are soon to become a reality. Pun intended. So we can wonder what Sony truly has up their sleeve with this move. Another pun intended. Considering that E3 itself is practically free marketing and advertisement for any publisher's catalog. Now that's a statement I can agree with. Like, it technically is free marketing, but guess what? Sony's been doing their own publicity and marketing anyway, stuff like that. I can see the both sides of the argument for here, because it, like if they're at E3, it's a place where most people who are into video games are probably going to watch it. Now, here's the thing, though, because I've done these E3s for a while, and I've watched the online pressers and all that stuff, and like the coverage when G4 Tech TV and all the other blogs and channels and stuff had that. I always skip out on certain people's pressers, stuff like that. I normally watch Microsoft's. I normally watch Sony's. When Nintendo was there, I maybe watched Nintendo, but that's not saying I didn't go there for Nintendo. But here's the thing about it. I think a lot of people are saying like, hey, like the average person is going to sit there and watch all 96 hours of it. That's not true.
No,
that's not true.
Close.
People are gonna pick and choose what they want to see. So like there are people who are there solely for Nintendo stuff. There's people who are there solely for Microsoft stuff. There's people who are there. Let's see. If we look at the list of for the lineup here.
It's also it's also important to note that EA has been doing this for years and years and years before PlayStation or anyone else was doing it.
Yeah,
they've been doing their own EA Play thing and they've never had a problem getting their word out.
Yeah. EA's about as old as video gaming. I want to say that maybe they're not as old as Nintendo, but about as old as Atari.
The vast majority of people are just going to go and read a Cliff Notes version of it, essentially. Anyway,
well, too.
How many people actually sit down to watch an hour and a half presentation or 2 hour presentation? I mean, I imagine all of us do. I mean, we're also on a video game podcast right now, so that's one thing. But I mean, the vast majority of people are like, "Hey, tell me the big things that were announced. I'm gonna watch those trailers and see it." Like,
YouTube, like they're gonna get posted anyway, so people can pick and choose. And so even if they're not right away into like the chat with everyone watching at the same time, they're still gonna see it eventually. They don't have to be plugged into the event.
All right, so here's some notable names that are going to be companies and developers that are committed thus far to E3. We've got Activision, Amazon Game Studios, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Capcom, Deep Silver, Epic Games, Funcom, Gameloft, Gung Ho Online Entertainment, Hori, which Hori is known for making like the accessories like joysticks and all that stuff. We've got the Coke. Wait, I don't see Coke Media Group in this list. Limited Run Games, NCSoft, Nvidia, Nintendo of America, Pure Arts, Oculus from Facebook, Sega, Square Enix, Take-Two Interactive, THQ Nordic, Ubisoft, and Warner Bros. Games, and of course Xbox and XE Games. So, and that's just, I didn't even read that entire list. There's much more. Like I put the link to the article for our Boss Rush banner from David Lasby. Check it out to get the full list of everybody that's there. The last thing I'm going to say about this is actually a question. I need to make sure I frame this. I need to make sure I frame this question correctly. Would Sony being at E3 be a game changer?
Nah.
There you have it.
Nope.
There you have it.
Honestly, I think they're gonna end up having an event by the end of June. I think they're gonna do another state of play. I think this next one's gonna be very light, and it's gonna focus on Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
And I think after the dust settles on E3, I think if they're going to make a big announcement, that's gonna be when they do it and take the wind right out of the sails of everything that was announced at E3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As a matter of fact, because right now, since the beginning of so the last state of play was what, February, right? I think it was February.
Yes,
I think it was February. So now we've got an April state of play. If they keep this up, we're gonna see one in June. We're gonna see one in August, and then we're gonna see one in October, right before the holiday season.
Yeah, June 2nd.
if this is the way it's going, and the reason why I'm saying this is because, like, they've got some more major hits to come out. Like, like we're eventually going to want to see news for Horizon, as well as God of War and Gran
God of
Turismo.
War, pump it into my veins.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, but also this also sets them up for year 2 for PlayStation, for PS5. I mean, and I don't know. I said earlier that like we need to be fortunate that like the new games are kind of stagnant for all the new systems. Like, I mean, there's not a whole bunch of like these. The Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 5 are just now 5 months old. 5 months. That's how long they've been out. It hasn't been out super long or anything like that. So, people are acting like these things have been out for like 2 years and there's no games or something. That's why I was saying earlier, like go through your backlog and stuff like that. Be lucky right now because like it's already hard enough to get systems, because of the economy and the state of the electronics world right now. And that's another conversation for another night. But right now is your opportunity. Go through your backlog, get things in order, because I guarantee you year 2 for PlayStation is probably going to be nuts. And also year 2 for PlayStation is also the same year that all these other third-party developers getting all their stuff off the ground, like the Callisto Protocol from the former Dead Space studio. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, and every console generation starts out this way. I don't know why we act like we're surprised. I mean, it takes time to develop games, and these consoles weren't solidified by in a decent amount enough time for people to be putting out these massive, massive games for it to make sure they're using the tech at their disposal. So yeah, every console generation, the first year is always dull. It always has been. It's been like that forever.
Yep.
I guarantee you, if games like Uncharted, The Last of Us, Ratchet and Clank, Ghost of Tsushima, if those games came out year after year, people would be screaming bloody murder. That is too much. It's too much.
Yeah, and quality would inevitably go down unless they added another like a second studio to work on it too.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, but you're saying a game like The Last, but they're saying a game like The Last of Us 2 was not quality. They're saying that. I don't understand gamers sometimes. I don't.
No. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but I can tell you it's quality. Like that's not really up for debate. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. Naughty Dog doesn't really slip when it comes to things like quality.
I can't think of the last game that Naughty Dog came out with that was a down and out stinker. I can't. Like I feel like Naughty Dog's been on a roll since Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, they've been on a roll for.
They've been on a roll since Bandicoot. Since Bandicoot.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that Naughty Dog goes back that far.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, they were even somewhat involved with Spyro back in the day. Maybe no. Or no, that was Insomniac.
Insomniac, yeah.
But yeah, Naughty Dog's been around and doing this for a while. I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing at this point. Quality is not an issue.
Yeah, so I think people just hate when other people are successful.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've done this. If you guys have a problem with anything I've said tonight, my social media handle is @EXODUS803. Please come my way, hit them DMs. Let's have a conversation about this. I'm ready to fight. Let's do this.
If you have, go ahead, Austin.
I was gonna say I agree with everything you said, and I think this is really just a bunch of fanboy noise, honestly. About
wait, but is it fanboy noise? Because I feel like it's more like I feel like it's coming across both sides of the aisle. I feel like the haters are saying, "Oh, PlayStation doesn't have any games this year."
That's what I mean, because if Nintendo were to say, "Hey, we're gonna have our own thing, not do E3," no one would be. All the Nintendo people would not be like, "Oh yeah, they need E3. E3 needs Nintendo."
They would drink that Kool-Aid so fast and swallow that wafer. Oh my God!
Yeah. Like. Nintendo fans would be like, "Oh yeah, they're way bigger than E3. They don't need E3." Well, exactly. Like, what's the big deal? I love E3 personally because last year sucked when Jeff Kiley took over and we got like news every like 2 days, like of a random game here and a random game there. Whereas this is like a hype event where I could take off work.
Speaking of fanboys,
all my friends are
speaking of
listening and
fanboys,
watching.
Jeff Keighley.
But I think this is it's honestly just a non-story, but it is interesting for the fact that where is E3 in a few years now? Like, is this still a thing? I hope it is, because it at least brings everything together and we get all this big news. It's like the Super Bowl of video games almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're more excited about announcements of games than when that game actually comes out. It's weird like that, but I don't know. I don't think, as long as Sony's around there and at least making headlines around that time, they're going to be fine overall.
Yeah.
Even if they don't, I'm pretty sure they're going to be fine. They could wait until November to put something out again, and it wouldn't matter.
I mean, they've got the games. They got plenty to announce, and they're the fastest selling console in units, so they're fine.
Okay. Capcom and Nintendo must have heard me talking shit about them, because apparently the Monster Hunter DLC is live right now.
Listen up, LeRon. Not 8 o'clock. Not 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Show's over. Show's over. LeRon's going to play.
All right, it's been fun, guys.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to wrap up the show, but I mean, we are at the end of the show.
Oh,
okay. I don't have any final thoughts on this. I mean, I think I don't know. I feel like I feel like all of this tonight have said like some really valid stuff and decent stuff. This is the first year. This is the first year for both the Xbox Series systems as well as the PlayStation 5 and stuff like that. And I am not even going to like whip Microsoft, like a dead horse right now. I'm not going to kick them while they're down right now, because like Microsoft is restructuring their first party lineup for games and stuff like that. So like this is now not the time to take cheap shots at them and things like that. Sony, in my opinion, has done a pretty decent job with their rollout and stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you, the PlayStation 5's launch lineup has probably been the strongest launch lineup I've seen for any gaming system since the hell. I can't think of.
There's nothing that's even close. I mean,
I want to say the strongest. I want to say the last time I saw a really strong system launch was Super Nintendo.
Probably.
Because the Dreamcast, as good as that system was, they didn't have the best lineup for games their first year. PlayStation 1, you had to kind of like sift through it, like I had Ballerina Toshinden, and I had another game called Philosoma. You guys know anything about that game? I can't think of any other games that were, because not even Tekken 1 was out at the time when the system launched. It was close to a launch, but it wasn't a launch title. So PS2. Only game I remember from PS2 from PS2's launch that meant a damn to me was SSX.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's fair.
Yeah, so I mean,
listen, nothing can beat the PS4 launch because it had knack.
Knack.
God. So until you can come up with a better game than knack, good luck. Good luck
watching too much video game, donkey. Donkey fanboy over here.
Oh my god! All right, well,
but we
what?
might be friends.
You made a knack joke and you don't know who Donkey is? Come on, man.
I don't know streamers, man, at all.
No, he's just a YouTuber.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I only know one YouTuber, and he plays Rainbow Six, and I don't play that game. That's the only YouTuber I watch.
Yeah, he's like a video game comedian type deal, but yeah.
So, fun fact. So, launch titles for Super Nintendo, August 23rd, 91. Super Mario World, F-Zero, Pilot Wings, Gradius 3, and SimCity.
Jesus Christ!
Boy. Yeah.
Jesus. Oh my God!
So
all those games,
right.
and all those games are $80. And all those games are $80 a shot too. Like God, like our poor wallets. I mean, our parents' poor wallets.
Yeah.
Those are some expensive ass games, and those are honestly 4 out of 5 of those were must-haves.
Yeah,
oh, easily.
I don't think we have to mention which one's the one that's not a must-have. I think it's clear obvious which one that is.
Yeah, clearly F-Zero, right?
Right.
All right, well,
I'm kidding. before somebody comes at me with a pitchfork.
Oh God!
Put it
You,
away.
you know, the wait, what we call them? The blockaders. That's what I started calling like the pal block fanboys, the blockaders. You know they're already outside like whacking chickens with baseball bats just to come your way, bro. Just like as much as all that, like you smack the chicken too much, and all of a sudden an entire herd of chickens just come after you.
Glad this could be my last show, I guess. Then.
Oh no! We're giving
chickens and pitchforks.
We're giving you blanket immunity.
Nobody's come after me on my show. I don't think it'll be here. I try to play it somewhat tame.
All right, well, that's our show for tonight. We'd like to go ahead and give a big thanks to you for tuning in to Crossroads PlayStation Podcast. Before we go, here's how you can get and stay connected with our crew. We're going to let our guests go first. So, Justin, have at it. Where can we find you?
So you can find me on Twitch, on Twitter, on YouTube, Facebook, at Zoomy2009. Like I said, I try to post stuff, try to play. I play a little bit of everything. So, but again, it's when I have the time, when I'm not at work or being a dad. So it's
very
all right.
Thanks, still.
All right, Brody, go.
You can find me on Twitter at Diggity Podcast. You can find me on Instagram at Diggity Podcast as well. I have my own personal accounts as well, but I don't ever use them. So that's the best way if you want to get in touch with me and tell me why you dislike my opinions. That's bring it on.
Austin, we're not doing something right because no one's come at us. Really, they haven't.
No.
We need to shake it up. We need to shake it up.
We need to start getting wild. You want me to start? You want me to start? We'll just start right now.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And you can also find us on YouTube as well. We do episodes of both Let's Plays, reviews, a little bit of everything. We have a video version of the podcast that goes up on Thursdays live. And we just started streaming to Twitch as well, which is now Diggity Pod. And shoot, I mean, you can find the episode live every Friday at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And for all you early risers who are driving into work or what have you, and that's every Friday, gaming news, and it's everywhere. You can find it on anything and everything. And we're even on Pandora finally, which took a really long time, but we're there for the 4 people that still use Pandora.
I have one friend that uses Pandora, and it bugs me to no end. I'm like, why are you using this thing? Why is this your choice of music?
My wife uses Pandora, so I enjoy just small little jabs. She also uses Edge, so yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, Edge is a halfway decent PDF viewer.
Right.
Only when Acrobat doesn't work.
Right.
Austin, plug yourself.
You can find me at PlayStation on Twitter. You can find everything else on the pinned tweet. And if you're listening to this episode on Thursday, on the Thursday the day comes out, you still have time before what is that, midnight on Friday, April 30th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the game will be live midnight.
Yeah, we'll give out the code for it. It'll be like, I'll give out the code at like 6 a.m. because I'll be at work. But I'll give out that code. You still have a chance to do that if you want. Comment at PS_Crossroads with your favorite Housemarque game, and that'll be another way to enter. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and do that, and you'll give us another way to enter. So, and then check me out on LAN Party and wherever else I might be. But I don't know if we're gonna do anything live this week for the NFL draft. I think I'm just gonna live tweet it on Twitter, probably drunk.
Oh, the draft is already coming back?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Okay, I feel
that's
like
why I say I can't do it, because that's like religion.
Understood. All right, and as usual, you can always find me on social media at EXODUS803, Exodus803. That's also my gamer tag. So any place that I'm playing video games at, Exodus803 is how you can find me, unless it's Nintendo, because they have like those weird stylized codes and all that stuff. And thanks for tuning in. I was about to announce that Hunters for Hire is back with a brand new episode tomorrow, but tomorrow we're taking a night off. Jacob and I need some rest.
You gotta play that DLC.
Yeah.
That's what's really going on.
Why you have to put me out there like that? Yes, I'm taking the night off from the Monster Hunter show to play more Monster Hunter. There you go.
Just adding to the show value. I mean, nothing hurt there, or nothing hurtful.
All right, and here's your reminder: head over to bossrushgames.com and take a look at all the content that Boss Rush has to offer. Currently, there is a Boss Rush banner episode. I might as well say it from Dan Murphy. What Switch games could use some DLC? I think he is asking that question because Monster Hunter's apparently just got a big game dump. So it might be why he asked that question. But go check out his article.
Also, Mario Party.
Oh, Mario Party did get an online mode. It got an online mode. Yeah. Yep. Don't forget about our other shows and editorials over at bossrushgames.com. We've got other shows, like I was on Nintendo Power Block last night talking it up with the Nintendo crew. Those guys were mean to me last night. I'm just gonna say that right.
You didn't do the Final Fantasy, did you?
No, but you know what? I kind of did. I kind of did step in it because I did say like Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is like the worst Legend of Zelda game.
That's
so I may have deserved it. I may have deserved it, but you know they were still mean.
Where Skyward Sword exists, you gonna say some shit like that?
Well, in my defense, Ocarina of Time basically turned me off from playing any of the other 3D versions of Zelda.
Okay.
It did, you know.
It personally hurt you.
I'll save it for the Patreon that we might be working on.
Yeah. Those Patreon episodes are going to be extra wild because I feel like there's going to be no bars.
There's going to be no filter. There's going to be no filter. The bar is on the floor.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, Boss Rush Games is calling all writers. If you're passionate about video games, enjoy writing, and are hoping for a place to publish, email us at opportunities@brg@gmail.com to apply. I'm putting that into our Twitch chat right now, so you get a chance to check it out. If you're curious about what we do over at bossrushgames.com, head over to bossrushgames.com and check it out. Last but not least, you can keep the conversation going with us by heading over to Twitter, hitting us up at ps_crossroads, and chatting with us some more, where we hold it down with more news, events, and topics. The Boss Rush Games wants you all to have a good night and go out there and play games and be better. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you next week, unless we're caught up playing Returnal.
Which is very, very possible.
For real. Yes. So take care, guys.